Tag it.
Yeah, summer's coming up. It's always a busy time for us, you know. It's the busiest window we have. As you know, the January window is only a small month window, but the summer one is the big one where, you know, majority of the business gets done in the footballing world. So, you know, last week, and also got planned this week a lot of meetings with various people, players, agents, clubs, etc. Because it's the time where they, if you like, give you the shopping list and you'll know what they're looking for. Over the last few years, you know, you kind of look at the situation of a player, especially with maybe a young, well, more importantly, a young player, but some senior players and some players who have made maybe a year or two within their professional careers. So what we kind of look at is, especially in the summer, we kind of look at a program where we kind of bring players in and they would go and do a bit of training. So it's almost like a pre-season within a pre-season. So the whole idea of it is to get boys fit before they go back to their clubs for pre-season, which might sound crazy to some people because, you know, some people may turn around and say to you, well, I've had a long season. Well, possibly you have had, but if you haven't played every single game of the season and you're young and you're fit and you're healthy, and you know there's a lot more for you to give, because the reason why we came up with this situation, because last couple of years, you know, we had a player that he was at a Premier League club, and you know, there was a constant conversation about, oh, is he fit enough, and oh, you know, he needs to work harder and he needs to push more into his red zone and this colour zone and that colour zone. And for me, I sat there and I listened to these coaches talk, and it was, for me, it was a bit of a nonsense, to be quite honest with you, because at the end of the day, yes, it's great having all these zones, but A, you gotta be able to trust your eyes and what you see, and B, you gotta speak to the player to find out for himself if the training that you're giving him is enough for him. We devised a fitness program to suit individual players' needs, because once you have a conversation with a player, you will find out what he's good at. Some players are good at running long distance, some players are not so good at running long distance, some players are more power based, some players are more endurance based. So you need to speak to the player and find out what works for him. And once we did that, we had the right people around us to be able to go and work with the players in specific areas. And that's what we did. And we found out that, you know, players will go back to their respective clubs and they will be killing it in their running. They will be smashing it in their body conditioning, in their whole approach to training. And that is something that, you know, I've had sporting directors or director of sport and people that is high up in football that looks after these players say, look, he's come back and he's in different condition. What's he been doing in the off season? You know, and it kind of leaves me a little bit confused, because I'm thinking, well, you guys see these kids every day. Why are you not able to get the best out of him? Why are we getting the best out of them in 3 weeks? So, and for any young player out there listening, and the boys that we worked with as well, they really embrace that. What are you going to do different to be noticed? And that's the question I ask players all the time, because a manager is going to see the players that the first 11 he picks. After that is a lottery whether he sees you or not. But you got to give yourself that opportunity by working hard, doing the horrible things, finding comfort in discomfort, day in, day out, doing the horrible side of it, because that's going to be the difference maker in your career. The problem is just with people, when they get to certain positions, they get comfortable. You might be in a relationship with someone for years and years and years. When you first met, you were showing all your A game, right? 2, 3, 4 years has gone past, you are now getting comfortable. You're now starting to put on weight. You're now starting to look sloppy. You're not taking care of your appearance. You're not going out anymore. You're not enjoying yourself anymore. You're not doing the things that attracted you to that person in the beginning, because you're comfortable. But guess what? When Joe Bloggs walks past, he's in great shape, or she looks great, and she takes care of herself, and you look at that and you go, well, why are you not doing that? Don't get comfortable, because that's a recipe for disaster. And you will find with all top people, whether you're in business or whether you're in sports, they never ever get comfortable, because comfort leads to complacency, and complacency leads to disaster. I was in a situation for years where I was comfortable. Being in the agency, one of the biggest agencies in the country, just being there and being a part of that whole vibe and riding on that coattails. But for me, I realized I was getting too comfortable. I realized I was just picking up bad habits. I realized, I self-assessed, and I looked at myself and I went, well, where was that drive that got you into that building? Where was that desire that got you to be where you once was in that position? And I realized it was comfort. But me being me, I realized that, and I thought, you know what? I'm not happy with that. I actually want to create my own company. So I took myself out of that comfort zone and put myself in a hostile environment of not knowing how it's going to pan out, but all I had was a dream and a desire. But you got to look at yourself sometimes and go, you know what? Am I being honest with myself here? Is this what I really want to do? Is this where I really want to be? Is this a relationship that I really want to be in? Is this a job I really want to be in? Am I happy living this existence? And the only one that can answer that is you. And you will go through moments and periods and times on that journey where it's become very uncomfortable. It becomes very tight. It questions your whole situation. It questions your whole train of thought. It questions everything about you, and it questions everything about what you thought was going to be on the other side of that fence. And that pain and that not knowing is what puts a lot of people off. But when you have determination, and when you have desire, and when you have a vision and a goal, you are prepared to take that risk. Because when you get to the other side,
You sponsored now? You sponsored?
They weren't working.
I did, sir.
Best team in London.
Oh, Nick, don't start all that.
All those WhatsApps from earlier, they're coming back. All those WhatsApps from earlier.
Yeah, full set back. Give a shout out to Liam. I've got to give a shout out to Lee. The best goalkeeper by far here.
Mate, it's 5 them, don't go there. It's 5. Calm. Time. My son was mustard today. Where is he? Let's see him. Sammy, come here. Come. See.
I'd just like to say, Eddie was playing at 45%
Get him in the middle.
today, and he's going to live with him.
Get him in the middle.
Come on, Junior.
Now listen, left foot
One of the
like
players,
a
mate.
flipping one. Okay, you got loads of potential.
Thank you.
Yeah? Keep working hard.